Hi guys, thank you for clicking in. You are watching My Kingdom for a Horse. Today we're going to be talking about history, specifically the histories surrounding Richard III. So you've read the plays, you've watched our summaries, and now you're thinking, what was going on historically at the time? Because the play is based on the life of a real person. Now, the plays take place during the Wars of the Roses, which was a series of battles that took place from 1455 to 1485. It was between the houses of York and the houses of Lancaster. Usually, for me, if I want to, find out who's York and who's Lancaster, if their name is Henry, they're probably Lancastrian. So Richard, King Edward IV, all those people, they're Yorkists, and those are the people that we are, seeing these final battles through. So, real-life Richard was born in 1452. His father was killed in a battle, and so was his brother in 1460 when Richard was only 8 years old. Richard became Duke of Gloucester in 1461. In 1471, he participated in the battles of Barnet and Tewkesbury. He married Anne Neville that same year, who's Lady Anne in our play. In 1483, he became Lord Protector of Edward IV's two sons, who we know as the princes who get killed in the Tower. Later, he bastardizes, the princes by telling everybody that they're not legitimate, and later that year, the princes, poof, disappear. In 1485, he's officially crowned king, and in August of that same year, he is killed at the Battle of Bosworth. Now, Richard in the play, he's pretty ugly, he's got his hunchback, he's got a withered arm, but we don't think he was that ugly, actually. They recently found his bones, you've probably heard all about it, and while his skeleton does suggest really, really bad scoliosis, he probably didn't have the hunchback and the weird arm that Shakespeare gave him, but the question stands, why would Shakespeare do that at all? Well, mostly because Shakespeare wanted to talk crap about him, because Richard was the last king from the house of, York, and Henry VII, who took the crown after, was a Tudor. When Shakespeare was writing this play, Elizabeth I was on the throne. And you know what? Elizabeth I was the last monarch of the Tudor dynasty, and Shakespeare would have gone into a lot of trouble if he were publishing work that supported Richard in any way or the House of York. But Richard in real life was kind of interesting because he introduced bail, he started up a court for people who couldn't afford lawyers, a place where they could just get their problems out. He lifted up censorship bans, he let people print whenever they want, he translated laws from French to English so everyone could understand them, and that's all great, those are all really good things. But the fact still stands that we're never gonna find out what Richard was really like. We just don't know. The real big thing that people pin on him is the murder of the princess, which is such a bad thing. I mean, he could have translated laws and done all that garbage and still killed the princes, but we just don't know. So my question for you is, who do you think killed the princes? I kind of think that Henry VII and his people might have had some motivation. Sometimes I think it's Richard. But we'll never find out because it's in the past. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you next week.